Hey there, everyone, and welcome to another astrology video. Today, I'm going to talk things Venus in Virgo. So, Venus is going to be in Virgo from September 5 through to the 29th, and those dates are inclusive of all of the time zones. So, Venus in Virgo is a little bit like our annual pleasure review. If we take the idea of Venus being the planet of harmony, of joy, of connection and togetherness, of music, beauty, and love, and all those things that we find attractive to us that we can't explain why, can often be symbolized by Venus. I mean, can you explain articulately why you like what you like? Maybe what your favorite color is, or what kind of music do you like? I mean, I can never really articulate why I love metal so much, but once I hear those crunchy guitars, it just turns my motor on. So I can't explain it. I think I've loved hard rock and metal since I was about 3 years old. And so if you think about your favorite genre of music, why do you like it? It makes you feel good, but it doesn't really tell you why. And that's a little bit like Venus. She's sort of instinctual and magnetic and attracting and attractive. We can't really describe what it is that why we like one thing and why somebody else does not like something. So there are some objective qualities to Venus. We all like certain things to be maybe clean or smell good, or just that warm cup of coffee that just is just right. I mean, obviously not everyone likes coffee, but there are certain things that we generally as human beings have a preference for, that we consider universally appeasing or pleasing to us. And then, of course, we have the more subjective parts of our benchmark for attraction, if you like. And so when we have Venus in Virgo, we're looking at Venus who is in Mercury sign. And so this is where the challenge or the idea of Venus being in fall in the sign of Virgo, because Mercury doesn't work in harmony to what Venus is trying to do. Mercury is trying to articulate the inarticulatable, even if that's a word. Mercury kind of wants to pull apart the data or the information, is mind driven as opposed to embodiment driven. Mercury is about communication and logistics and getting from A to B and ticking things off the to-do list. So it's not really conducive to letting go in the moment and enjoying yourself when you're in the head. And that's the kind of the idea between Mercury and Venus. So you've probably noticed that Venus is considered to be in her fall in Mercury's sign of Virgo, just the same as Mercury's considered to be in fall in Venus's exaltation of Pisces. So there is as a planetary duo, Mercury and Venus, don't necessarily work that well together, as a archetype. It's not like a mutually beneficial relationship, for instance. And I think, if my memory is serving me correctly in this moment, because it's just come to mind, is that the idea of there was Hermes and Aphrodite in the myth. And I think Hermes really liked Aphrodite, but Aphrodite didn't really want Hermes, but it kind of still happened anyway. And, it just wasn't a mutually desired relationship, if you like. So that's a little bit of a research thing for you, if that's what you would like to do. But there's something to the idea of these two planets not getting along. Now, what Venus in Virgo can do really well while she's in Mercury sign is that she tries to, put all the things together that Mercury has maybe pulled apart. She wants to improve upon the relationship. She wants to try and make things better, analyze the things that are not meant to be analyzed, that are just meant to be felt and experienced and enjoyed. She sort of wants to make that perfect, the thing we can't make perfect, perfect. And while that might sound kind of nice in theory, in practicality, trying to make things better constantly in a relationship can make it feel a little bit rigid or a little bit less instinctual or passionate or desirous. You know, if you're always trying to break things down or analyze things or get in that headspace a little bit. Hopefully I'm making it clear what I'm trying to express here. There are things about Venus and what she brings to our sphere. It can't necessarily be communicated. And sometimes there are certain things in life we don't want answers to. We don't want to rationalize or get, you know, in our heads about. We just want to enjoy it. And that's what Venus is really about. And so we do have a little bit of an interesting sort of dynamic with this particular tour of Venus and Virgo, because she's going to be looking to her ruler Mercury, who's in Venus's sign of Libra, but retrograde. So this to me really speaks so much of reflecting on what our desires are or what pleasure means for us, and maybe trying to actually understand more deeply, why do I like the things that I like, or why do I not like the things that I don't like? And so this might really show up quite strongly in relationships. There's a few reasons for that. So Venus in Virgo is looking to Mercury in Libra, who's retrograde, and opposed Jupiter. So that's this small picture, big picture stuff. And Venus is kind of caught up in the mix with that. Another component too is that Venus, unlike her previous tour of Venus in Virgo, she is at the end of her synodic cycle. So when she enters Virgo, she's going to enter sort of the beams of the sun, enter into combustion. And then I'm pretty sure it's about the end of October, at around the very last degree of Libra, give or take, she will hit that conjunction, the superior conjunction with the sun. You know, she's coming to the end of that cycle. So there may be this idea through Venus in Virgo, what do I actually want to eliminate from my pleasure experience in life? What do I want to clean up, tidy up? So this could be in terms of maybe some relationship habits or cycles that are occurring in an existing relationship where you're at your end of your tether and you think we need to deal with this. So if there are those repetitive cycles, you know, maybe there is a period of reflection, analysis, philosophizing, and deliberating, like, can I look at the big picture of something? Can I oversee some details of the things that I don't like? Or do I really have to pull apart and analyze things? So there's a few layers to this particular iteration of Venus in Virgo. On the more just basic practical level, this is a really good idea or a good period between the 5th and the 29th to sort of embrace a few healthier habits. So this could be whether it's, you know, hygiene and personal appearance, decluttering, maybe it's tidying up your diet if a little bit of sugar or alcohol is come into the mix. Obviously, in Australia now, we're starting to enter into the spring weather, and I've noticed my gym is a little bit busier. So people are starting to go, oh, got to get the summer body back. So, you know, there is that idea of wanting to perfect and refine and improve upon that physical appearance there with Venus in Virgo. Obviously look to the house which Virgo rules in your birth chart, and that might be a good place to start decluttering, tidying up, purifying, purging, you know, with Venus coming to the end of her synodic cycle. And you know, figure out, like, how can I do this better moving forward? So I think there's a lot of layers to this. There could be the real practical layers, or there can be the more, I really need to think about some of the choices that I'm making. Maybe it's the company you're keeping. Maybe it's time for that annual friends review, like I mentioned in my previous Venus in Virgo video. So those little habits that may have crept in over the winter here in Australia, or if you're watching from the Northern Hemisphere, and all of those summer barbecues or, nights out, drinks out, whatever it is, thinking, okay, I just need to hone that in a bit and sort of prepare and plan. I know school's gone back, for instance, in the US. So there is that need to get organized, need to sort of focus on things. And it might be that time to just sort of like really clarify what the real desire or the priority is in the Virgo part of your life. So hopefully that's given you a few ideas to think about how you can work with Venus in Virgo. I think it has a huge relationship vibe, as I said, because of its ruler, Mercury, being retrograde in Libra, opposing Jupiter. And another layer to that is that Mars is also in Mercury's fellow sign of Gemini, who is forming a square aspect to Venus in Virgo. And that particular aspect is going to perfect. So they will hit their kind of clashing aspect. That will happen on the 16th, the 17th here in Australia at 14 degrees of Gemini and Virgo. And so this is really that archetypal celestial lovers coming under that clashing aspect and realizing there's differing desires there. Venus wants to go in one direction and Mars wants to go in the other. So this could bring a heightened tension to a relationship experience. You might find that square tension in the Gemini and Virgo parts of your birth chart. A desire to go in one direction here and then a need to go in another there. It's something to think about as well. But definitely a huge relationship component. It may not be at like a one-on-one romantic relationship. It could be a work-related situation, a friendship-related situation, or it could be parts of your life that are not necessarily described by other people per se. So there's a lot of layers to Venus in Virgo, as I mentioned, but the overall idea is clarifying, cleaning up, clearing out, and getting ready for the new cycle that Venus will begin at the end of October in Libra, which is, one of her favorite places to be, of course. So this is, not the most fun-filled and joyful tour of Virgo for Venus, I don't think this time, but I think once we get to the end of it, it might be that detox in a particular area of life that will bring a new sense of balance, refreshed perspectives, and renewed desire as well. So hopefully you enjoyed a few of those insights around the next few weeks with Venus in Virgo. If you are wanting more astrological insight on a regular basis, the Golden Circle Club is the place to be. Each month I deliver all the details and information about the astrology weather of that month. It's available online and via an app as well. Community, resources, astrology videos, all the things. And I do have a few readings available at the end of September. So if you did want to have an astrological consultation with me, it's probably a good idea to get booked in pretty quick because I'm pretty booked up at the moment. And there are just a couple of sessions that have opened up this month. So if you would like to get in, I'll pop a link below. I do try and really work the time zones and keep sessions open each month. I know a lot of people don't like a waiting list, and I never try and have a waiting list. So I'll just open up another day on my calendar if need be, but it's available. So until next time, everybody, I do hope you have a very clarifying tour of Venus in Virgo and coming out to the other side of that and maybe getting closer to knowing what you really want, or at least what you don't. Until next time, everyone, I hope you have a really great week, and I look forward to seeing you next time.